In a mountain village where mist clung to the valleys each morning, there lived a master weaver named Elena. Her tapestries were famous throughout the land, sought after by nobles and common folk alike. But few knew the secret behind her magnificent creations, two magical threads that had been passed down through generations of weavers in her family. The first thread was made of pure silver. It shimmered brilliantly under any light, catching every eye that gazed upon it. Its surface was flawless, reflecting perfection in every inch of its length. The second thread was made of simple cotton, dyed a deep midnight blue. But this thread had something unusual about it. Every few inches, there were small knots and irregularities that broke its smooth surface. The silver thread was insufferably vain. Each evening, as Elena stored her materials away, it would whisper cutting remarks to the cotton thread. "You're embarrassing," it would hiss. "Those ugly knots make you look cheap and careless. When Elena weaves with me, her tapestries shine like starlight. When she uses you, those bumps ruin everything. Honestly, I don't know why she hasn't thrown you in the fire yet." The cotton thread would coil itself tightly, trying to hide its imperfections, saying nothing but feeling the weight of shame grow heavier each day. Years passed this way. The cotton thread watched as the silver thread was used for borders, for crowns on kings, for halos on angels. Meanwhile, it was relegated to backgrounds, to shadows, to places where its knots might go unnoticed. The cotton thread began to believe it truly was worthless, a mistake that should have been discarded long ago. One winter evening, as snow fell softly outside Elena's window, the cotton thread finally broke. Not physically, but spiritually. "Mistress," it whispered, its voice trembling with years of suppressed pain, "why do you keep me? Every tapestry I'm part of is flawed because of my knots. I see how carefully you place me in the shadows, trying to hide what I am. I'm so sorry for being defective. You deserve better materials." Elena's hand stopped mid-weave. She set down her shuttle and picked up the cotton thread, holding it gently in her weathered palms. "Oh my dear friend," she said with tears in her eyes, "you think your knots are flaws? Tomorrow, I will show you something that will change everything you believe about yourself." That night, the cotton thread barely slept, wondering what the morning would bring. At dawn, Elena didn't go to her loom. Instead, she took both threads and walked through the village to the great hall where her tapestries hung. The silver thread preened with excitement, expecting to be admired. But Elena walked past the grand pieces with silver borders and stopped before a massive tapestry that covered an entire wall. It depicted a stormy ocean at midnight, with waves crashing against cliffs under a turbulent sky. "Look closely," Elena told the cotton thread. The cotton thread studied the piece and gasped. The entire ocean was made from its midnight blue fibers, and where its knots appeared, they created something magical: texture. The knots formed the foam on the wave crests, the turbulence of the water, the chaos of the storm. Without those irregular bumps, the ocean would have been flat and lifeless. The knots gave the water dimension, movement, and raw power. "Do you understand now?" Elena asked softly. "I didn't hide you in shadows because you were flawed. I used you to create depth, to bring scenes to life, to add the reality that makes people feel like they could reach out and touch the water." She walked to another tapestry showing a forest at dusk. Again, the cotton thread with its knots created the rough bark on trees, the texture of moss, the wild tangle of undergrowth. "The silver thread is beautiful," Elena continued, "but beauty without depth is empty. It can outline and highlight, but it cannot create the substance that makes art feel real and alive. Your knots are not mistakes, they are what make you irreplaceable." The silver thread, which had been silent throughout this revelation, suddenly felt something it had never experienced before: humility mixed with shame. "I have been a fool," it said quietly. "I mocked you for the very thing that made you extraordinary. I thought smoothness was everything, but I see now that I can only exist on surfaces while you create worlds. I am so deeply sorry." The cotton thread, still processing this transformation of its entire understanding of itself, responded with grace. We both had to learn. You are not less valuable, you are different. We need each other. Elena smiled and returned to her workshop. She began a new tapestry, the most ambitious of her career. She used the silver thread to create a brilliant sun rising over the horizon, and she used the cotton thread to weave the textured earth below, full of fields and forests and life. Together, they created something neither could have achieved alone. From that day forward, both threads understood a profound truth that changed them forever. The silver thread learned that perfection without purpose is hollow, and the cotton thread learned that what we perceive as our deepest flaws are often our greatest gifts waiting to be understood. The real magic wasn't in being flawless. The real magic was in discovering that our so-called imperfections are often the very things that give us texture, depth, and the ability to create beauty that touches hearts. We are all threads in life's grand tapestry, each with our unique qualities, smooth or knotted, shining or subtle. And it's the combination of all our differences that creates something truly magnificent.